Welcome to World History Lesson 21, Latin America and the Revolution. Our lesson objectives are: recognize how social unrest in other parts of the world inspired and led to revolution in Latin America, explain how the countries of Latin America gained their independence, define the rigid social order in early Latin America. One important result of the French Revolution was to give other people the courage to question their government. This belief in challenging the established authority was especially true in Latin America. Latin America consists of Mexico, all of Central and South America, as well as some of the Caribbean islands. Most of Latin America was colonized by the Spanish, while Portugal colonized Brazil and the French colonized Haiti, located in the Caribbean Sea. The people of Latin America were ruled by their masters who lived far away in France, Spain, and Portugal. During the colonization periods, the conquerors raided Latin America and the native population. The raids included all the precious metals, and the native population became slaves. From the 16th to the 18th centuries, the Spanish and Portuguese brought blacks from Africa to work as slaves on large plantations. During the same time period, the different groups of people, which included natives, African slaves, French, Spanish, Portuguese, began to intermarry. The blending of diverse races, cultures, and ethnic groups created the Latin American culture. The merging of these diverse cultures was responsible for the stabilization of society. The Catholic Church was important to life in Latin America. The Catholic Church ran all the schools and established moral standards for the society. The Catholic Church was and still is a powerful institution in Latin America. Fun facts. Though many European settlers and explorers who followed in Columbus's footsteps proselytized their Catholic beliefs, it wasn't until 1537 that Pope Paul III issued a charter affirming that the indigenous populations in Latin America were equal to Europeans and thus allowed to become Christians. In the 1800s, numerous countries, including Chile, Ecuador, and Colombia, signed contracts with the Catholic Church or modeled their constitution on Catholic values, declaring themselves Catholic states. The Pope wouldn't visit Latin America until 1968. The social classes in the Spanish and Portuguese Latin American colonies determined how a person would be educated, what type of job he or she would hold, and what rights a person enjoyed. The top of society were the men that the king appointed to govern the colonies. The white colonists, known as Creoles, and owned large plantations were next. People of mixed blood, mulattoes, white and black, and mestizos, white and natives, along with the slaves of Africa, formed the lowest class in Latin American society. These people had no rights and no real legal protection. The most educated class was the Creoles. The Creole men learned about the ideas of the Age of Enlightenment. In 1776, the Spanish and Portuguese Creoles observed American neighbors revolt against England and soon learned that the French revolted against the king. The Latin Americans greatly desired independence from their European masters. The new ideas and successes of the French Revolution started the spark of revolt at the beginning of the 19th century. What next? Take the time to go back and review the lesson on your own. After your review, complete the lesson review for the lesson and submit for grading. Remember, your submissions should follow all the rules for standard written English. All submissions must be written in your own words and sources used cited at the end. How to cite sources in APA format. When you reference a source within an APA-style paper, whether it is using a direct quote, repurposing an image, or simply referring to an idea or theory, you should insert an in-text citation, the author's surname, and the date of publication within parentheses, straight after a direct quote. The URL citationmachine.net will assist you in creating citations.